lovers, divine loves, divine reflections. How are you feeling in this now moment? Like, what do you feel in the body? I know a lot of times, like, you might get asked, how are you? And once, like, this multi-dimensional awareness kicked in, for me, it was like, I don't even know how to answer that question, how am I? It, like, stumps me, because I'm looking at my perception is coming from so many different angles. Like, it's just, which way do I want to focus on to then project into my reality how I am? So sometimes it's kind of like a loaded question. So it's more like, how do you feel? How do you feel in your body in this now moment? In your mind. Your mind has a feeling, yes. And your heart has a feeling, and your body has a feeling, and your energy body has a feeling, your light body, all of it's feeling. It's all about feeling, what we're feeling. So how are you feeling in this now moment? How have you been feeling? What do you remember about how you've been feeling? And a lot of that is just based on our perception in the moment. And perception is a very interesting phenomenon that we're all viewing our world through and making those assumptions into how our reality is. And a lot of it has to do with our perception. And we're all going through the same thing one way or another. It plays out differently. So you just never know what someone's going through until you've walked in their shoes. And at the same token, everything you're going through or are going to go through or have gone through, another has gone through as well. It's just it's all the texture, all the juiciness of it. Like, if I make you dinner and you make the same dinner, it's gonna have a different, flavor and energy and everything versus if I made it versus if you made it. So, it's all a perception at the end of the day. So how's your perception been of your reality? There's a lot of activity in the energetic realms and the frequencies that we are attuned to. Feeling happy, accepting, and thankful. Yes, today for sure. Definitely what I noticed for myself as well, a big shift today as well. And for me, it's been very rough, I'll be honest. If I'm coming out of the now moment and looking back, in the human linear time space of the last couple weeks, couple months, it's been very tumultuous, and it's really it's forced me, the only option that I was left with was I had to go internal, and I had to start eliminating everything that's in my field just so I can focus on me and just saying no so I can come back to me and really tune in, because it just got real freaky deaky out there. We're shifting a lot of energy. A lot of energy is coming in. So much is shifting and changing. We're waking up. We're shifting our consciousness. We're choosing new paths. We're saying no to things that are no longer serving. So we're waking up. A lot of the stuff that we were shoving underneath the bed, it's all coming out. It's all coming out to the surface, at least from my perception, and in my reflections as well. So it's shifting our whole consciousness and our whole collective consciousness and everything we're perceiving. The purpose of this video, I want to jump back to that, what prompted me, and then we can talk about whatever, was that we just never know what someone is perceiving or what their experience is, and so it's just the best move we have at all times is to be lovingly compassionate to all of our reflections. And if someone is asking for support, we can support them. If they're not asking, we can't really support. And it's okay to check in on people and be like, yo, do you need any support? Because I can feel you're going through something. But helping or needing to change someone's direction or interrupt their flow or their process, a lot of times it's just our ego reacting to the situation that needs to fix it, make it better, or change it because it's something in us that is triggering that we can't handle. So anyways, I've been noticing this for myself. I've been noticing in my reflections, and space is definitely needed in these now moments. Taking the internal time for ourselves, disconnecting, yes, neutral, non-judgmental observation. It's very easy for our egos to get in and want to judge something, and we may have all the evidence to support that judgment, to make it right and make it real in our perception, and then our perception becomes our reality, and now we're holding that holographic field. So our reflections will show up to prove us right in that perception. It's very interesting how that works in the reality. But being with another person and just holding that space with them, connecting, there's this energy that doesn't want us to connect with these masks. I need to cover up so you can't connect with me. And we can talk, and we should, if we want to each other. It's okay to hug, and it's okay to connect and be with someone. But you can actually be with another being sitting across from you and have a full connection between each other. You can give I've received a full hug in a table, sitting at a kitchen table, where there was 4 of us, I believe, or 5, around the table, and you could feel the energy. It was like a real hug that could happen, just because of the way our connection was at that moment. We were in a very, high telepathic frequency. So, just being with someone, we're all going through different stuff. We're releasing a lot of this reality that we knew, and we're seeing that it's not serving, so we're choosing higher timelines. We're choosing to let that go. We're choosing to upgrade and ascend our frequency, our consciousness. We're doing it collectively. We have so much more help now. Everyone, so many people are waking up and are open-minded, where before the program and the matrix had everyone so closed. And it's really easy to see right now too, for those that are awake in the capacity, to see who is completely asleep, and being programmed and buying all of the programming, and who's not. And I've been there, so that's how I can see it, because I've been there. I've been the programmed person and woke up. So yes, staying in the eye of the storm over here. My realm, we call it the 0 point. The universe has to balance out, right? So see these waves. This is actually perfect. As far as I go that way, I have to come this way to balance it out. But if I stay in that center, then I'm okay. Then I'm gonna be okay right there. And then I can actually impact everything around me. But if I'm out here, I'm just riding it more, and then everything has to balance out, and it's interesting. It's very interesting the way the waves work. So thank you for taking your now moments to share space with me. A lot is transpiring, a lot is transitioning, and even who I'm becoming for myself is new. So it's even who I thought myself potentially to be is shifting. And that's what the 0 staying in the center, the eye of the storm, is all about. It's not taking anything for granted. It's being fully awake and aware of what's happening in the now moment. It's not being attached to any timeline, outcome, people, place, or thing. Because in quantum realities, all of these things can shift so quick. And it's our ability to stay alert and awake and aware of what's happening is our best move. We are still in these human suits, and which I'm learning to master more and more each day. So perception can come in, mind control frequencies. There's so much different information looking to grab our attention, and if we give it our attention, if I give it the attention, then all of a sudden now that's coming into me and becoming my reality and going out into the waves. It's just the sacred geometry, and then you get to experience that reality. So it's it's just part of the game playing. So that was pretty much my message. I haven't been sharing a lot just because personally I've been just tumultuously being ripped apart in neural pathways is what it feels. Feels like stuff is regenerating, and I don't want to be grouchy and irritable and get myself into more karmic trouble by responding and reacting when I'm being triggered. So I've just been hiding out and doing what's best for me, following my guidance, my intuition, my highest joys, and if it's like a heaven yes, I want to do that, am I doing it right now? If there's any kind of doubt or hesitation, I'm just like, nope. I'm gonna just keep doing what is like the heaven's yes. And heaven's yes might just be chilling out, sitting here doing nothing, listening to some music, meditating, tuning into guidance, until I have an inspiration that is just a heaven's yes. And so I'm retuning my whole system to just be in that frequency. And I'm gonna do it till I'm so anchored and marinated in that nothing can pull me out, and I stay in that eye of the storm. And so there was a lot that I was letting go of based on just my recent travels and light work that I've been doing for the last year for that travel. Like, we've been on the go since it was like August. We left and just been kind of like going through it, and I was like, okay, it's time to anchor in somewhere for a moment. Relocated to Sedona, and Sedona, if you've never been to Sedona, Sedona is powerful, super powerful. So the energy here is going to just amplify everything. And since we're already in this, like, where the veils have been removed and all the stuff from underneath the bed has been revealed, and we're no longer pushing anything underneath, energy is already there, and then you bring that to Sedona, it just amplifies everything. And we are vibrational, energetic beings, so along the way, my vibration and my energy fields merged or absorbed, or their energy system or thought forms or holographic fields or neural pathways through mirror neuroning were transferred over to my system, and I was basically becoming them. That whole thing, you become the 5 people you hang around with the most. It's a real thing. It's been my experience in this suit anyways, that whoever I'm spending wherever my energy and attention is going, and those people that are within my immediate field are becoming one with me, whether we like it or not. It's like merging. So those energies and vibrations merge, and we accept or transfer or vibrate or bond. You line up like the DNA, the fields transfer, mirror neurons. So when you look at someone, their neural pathways can activate the same neural pathways in you. So if you have that same pattern or frequency and they have it too, which a lot of us are programmed from our parents and family and TV and school and authority figures and the whole system. A lot of us have the same base program. So the mirror neurons can light that up and activate it within each other, which is fun to play out and then clear. So we can clear and transmute that across all timelines, spaces, dimensions, and realities in this now moment. I clear and transmute that in all space, time, dimensions, realities in this now moment. And we can clear that. That's part of the light work. That's the part of what we're up to here. Hey Joe, how's it going? How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. So I'm kind of like that now. I'm just free flowing. The message that got me on here, I kind of put out. So I'm really anchoring into ourselves, grounding these new energies, these codes. Like, people get downloads. So taking that download and doing something to anchor it into form, into this realm that we're experiencing, is very powerful. So whether you're writing that down, or visualizing it, or singing it out, or however that transmutation of energy happens into form, into your body so you can feel it, is extremely powerful in these now moments, and always has been. But we're receiving a lot of new information, new codes, to anchor in and transmute and create our new realities. And we're letting go of a ton. All that doesn't serve. We have permission now to just let it go. And I even had the idea the download came in today to do a ceremony of like what you're releasing, letting go, or no longer carrying forward with you into, let's just say the new earth. So you're leaving this into 3D, we're going to 5D. So what are you letting go of the 3D? What are you going to let go of? Where are you still attached? Where are you still operating? Where are you still focusing on 3D aspects? And just letting that go. Ceremony, write it down, burn it, do some kind of ceremony, however you do, some music, maybe use medicine or something as a sacred plant medicine as the alchemical effect. But however you play that out, there's no rules really in this game. So we can create our ceremony however you want, just make it sacred and make it a sacred ceremony. You know what to do. Call in whoever you need to call in to be with you, create the space, write it down, get rid of it, burn it, transmute it in some way, transform it, and let it go. And from that point forward, walk confidently in your new reality, and there's no more energy that's given to any of that you let go. And that's how we clear anything from our fields or our realities. Or I know people are like, oh, they cut cords or whatever, but we can just take whatever and let it go and dissolve it and let it go and release it. And we can go through that process. Sometimes people might need to feel something through their body to release it, because if you're calling in the higher self, and your higher aspects to be like, yo, we're letting go of this, and I'm letting go of this now, it'll be like, okay, message received, and then you just trust the process. You may like some people throw up, some people have no response, but then maybe a couple days later something happens. So it's we're quantum beings, so just trust the process that it's done. It is done, and so it is. And so it is. Ashley, love you. Just out here chilling in Sedona with the super amplified vibes. I saw this really cool video on YouTube, so I thought I would play it and just sit here and talk to y'all, because I've been just hiding out to myself, tuning into myself, and I plan to keep, focusing on that more, loving myself more, and becoming more and more one and in love with myself, period. It's like the number one ultimate focus. It's going to pay the most dividends as I change, and transform me and become just so in love with myself. That energy is going to be who I am. So that energy is who I am. So now I'm being the change. I'm being in love with myself. And by being in love with myself, guess what? I'm going to activate or attract or magnetize other beings, other reflections that are in love with themselves. And that's it. It's pretty easy, simple stuff, actually. Sometimes we like to make it really complicated as humans. And maybe we're making it complicated because we have a trauma or something, some experience that we had that is still holding a charge in our fields, energy body, wherever it's at. There's so many layers and levels and slices and dices. You can chop this thing up to 7 chakras, you can make it 12 chakras, you can make it 22 chakras, you can make it 144 chakras, whatever floats your boat. That's all just your ego wanting to play games with reality. And we have that. We're the creator, so we can create however freaking many slices and dices you want. But when it comes down to it, it's just a zero. You're just the one, the zero. So anything other than zero, or just everything, is just ego trying to slice stuff up and make understandings or concepts or beliefs or systems out of it. When we're just being, there we are. But ego did all that, and we're waking up from it, and we're like, nah, this matrix thing, it got a little out of control. So we're gonna clean this up, and that's what's happening. At least for me. I don't know what's happening for you guys. You could share, tell me what's happening for you. But we're cleaning it up. Enough's enough. You know what I'm saying? Enough is enough. We were given everything we need to create heaven on earth. There's a ridiculous amount of abundance that's available to all of us. Everything just has to come back into a balance, and that is taking place. Trust it for sure. If you feel called to participate in some way because you're just called, your soul's driving you, then absolutely jump forward. But unless you have that calling, personally, I wouldn't do shit. That's just me. That's just what I'm gonna say. Unless you're being called to really move, we have this opportunity. We've been at home, and you can feel when something's calling you. But is it your soul calling you, or is it an escape that's calling you? Are you looking to cope? Are you looking to fill a void? Is there something you're not willing to face? What are you pretending not to know? What's out there that you're running from? Because we can run and play that game forever, but we're bringing everything into the awareness. Some might call it the light, and we're gonna, basically create a whole new reality. It's happening right now, that fast. So thank you, dearest lovers, for being here with me in this now. I know you're a lover because I'm a lover, and I'm in love with myself. Not from like an ego way, like I'm actually learning, I'm affirming it because I got some work to do. I get to love myself more. Like I kind of have been not loving myself to the way that I know that I'm capable of, and so I get to look at that and those patterns that played out and transform and regrow into a new expression here and now. Pretty amazing. In Lakesh, thank you for being here with me, and I'll see you in another version of the Now.